Hello folks, my name is Mark. This is Why I Hate the World. How you guys doing? My peoples, where you at? So, want to talk about Elon Musk and the fact that he is a Nazi. Why are we talking about this? It seems to be all over the news lately. It's because at a rally after Donald Trump's inauguration, he spoke at the after inauguration get down MAGA party, whatnot, and he did this. Here he is at the podium, and he does this very, very funny hand gesture. Oh, look at that. One more time in case you missed it. Let's just watch that a little bit. See, you can kind of see him there, up, hand to the heart, to a straight arm salute like that, and again behind him in case you didn't see it one more time. Kind of looks like a Nazi salute. So what exactly is going on here? What is the context of this? Well, apparently in his speech he was saying oh, my heart goes out to you. And of course that's the gesture that all of us make, of course, when we say my heart goes out to you, is that we touch our hearts and then we shoot our arm out, kind of like we're hailing somebody, almost like a hail. Almost like that. That's obviously what you're supposed to do, right? When your heart goes out to somebody. Now, his defenders are saying that, oh, well, this is just him being socially awkward because, apparently Elon Musk is autistic. Although this has never really stopped him before. I mean, the man is a CEO of 17 different companies. It's not like he's never spoken in public. The man, he's on TV all the time. He's spoken in front of crowds hundreds of times, in front of audiences hundreds of times. It's not like he's new to speaking in front of people. And I don't ever remember him saying anything like this and doing a Nazi salute ever before when he was thanking people or something like that. I mean, has that happened? Has he gotten up in front of the Tesla, shareholders or whatever and just been like, this has been a great year and my heart goes out to you, Sig Heil? Has he ever actually done that? No. I'm pretty sure that would have been in the news if that was a thing. So kind of a dumb shit fucking excuse there. They're trying to say that, okay, well, this is because he's autistic. Well, there's millions of people out there who are autistic and they don't run around doing Sig Heils at people. Right? And that was clearly what this is. In case you're not exactly sure, I've got plenty of examples here. This is, of course, Adolf Hitler doing a Sig Heil, and this is Elon Musk doing a Sig Heil. Pretty close to each other, wouldn't you say? Kind of looks like it to me. Here's another one comparing these in case you thought maybe it was a still shot or something. No. Kind of looks just like he's doing a Sig Heil, isn't it? I like this tweet that I found here from a guy named Joshua Reed Eckel. Don't let anyone gaslight you. Everyone saw what happened. And let's just go ahead and play this. Yep. Let's just turn off that sound. Here's a bunch of Nazis on the left. And kind of looks like they're doing exactly the same thing that Elon Musk is doing. I mean, I don't know. The similarity is just uncanny. So I'd like to share a couple of more Twitter responses here that I've seen. For example, this image. You see these going around a lot. Okay. In response to this, and it's okay, there's Obama doing a similar gesture. There's Kamala Harris doing what looks like a similar gesture. Don't let the right wing gaslight you here. What these are still shots of Obama and Kamala Harris waving to the crowd. And just to kind of illustrate that, we've got this video here comparing what Kamala Harris did to what Elon did. So let's take a look at Elon's gesture. Right? Look at what he's doing. Tapping his heart, hand going straight out. Now look at what Kamala Harris is doing. She's waving. So first she's pointing and then she's sort of waving. See? Don't let them gaslight you, folks. Okay? This is definitely a Sig Heil here. Kamala Harris and Barack Obama and Biden and everybody else that they may show an image of them doing a similar thing, it's not. This is a lie. Okay, this is the right wing trying to cover up for Daddy Elon. Here's a couple of other responses. I thought this one was funny. This is from Morgan Freeman. Yeah, I'd say that fits. Another new logo for Twitter. Okay. I could see how this may be in bad taste because this is serious. Okay, this is not a laughing matter. Elon Musk is the richest man on Earth, and he's not just flirting with the right wing anymore. He's gone full fucking Nazi. He's straight up doing fucking like Nazi Sieg Heil salutes and shit at rallies. That's how far down the rabbit hole this guy's become. Maybe we ought to get a little more angry than this, but at the same time, you just can't help but laugh. And I think this kind of response is a nice, healthy response. And I think this kind of ridicule ultimately is more effective than responding with anger and name calling and shit like that. If you want to take down fascism in a peaceful way, use comedy, use ridicule, make them look stupid. Because the one thing that fascists can't stand is when people make fun of them. You have to make them look stupid because to them, it makes them look weak. See, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, right? Fascists have an inability to laugh at themselves. Donald Trump, for example, cannot laugh at himself. He doesn't have that capability. He can't do it. Before, back in 2016, there was a White House correspondents' dinner with him and Hillary Clinton, and they were cracking jokes about themselves. And Hillary Clinton was able to do it. She was able to poke fun at herself just fine, and Donald Trump couldn't. He failed miserably. People were booing him. It was embarrassing how bad that he just could not make fun of himself. He couldn't do it. He couldn't poke fun at himself because he has a super giant ego. Because fascists do not have a sense of humor. The only thing that's funny to fascists is punching down at people. They can't direct that sense of humor at themselves because to do so admits that they're weak. And that's the best way to fight these guys. Make them look fucking stupid and their movement will crumble. Couple more of these that I thought were worth sharing. This one was funny from Liam Neeson. Adolf Hitler. Okay. This is from Secular Talk from Kyle Kalinske. Yeah, that seems to make sense to me. You know, that's nice steady progression of what Twitter has become. I like this one. I'd rather live next door to someone flying this flag than any of these. And yes, the Trump 2020 flag fits right in with the Confederate flag and the Nazi flag. Because at this point, they all kind of mean the same thing. Vote vets. Over 400,000 Americans died in World War II. Elon Musk just started the Trump administration with a Nazi salute. I really liked this one too. This guy sounds like a Nazi. You're insane. No, he's just showing love to the crowd. And these are all things, of course, that Elon Musk has actually said. Race predicts crime. Only the AfD can save Germany. Jews push hatred against whites. These are all things that he's actually said. See, because this isn't the first time that Musk has done something that was a giant dog whistle to the alt-right race realism Nazi crowd. He's been kind of doing this for years. You know, he buys Twitter. First thing he does is get rid of all the content moderation and unban all of the white supremacists. People like Nick Fuentes, for example. That's the first thing he does. Unbans these guys. Lets them back on Twitter. And have you ever tried to report somebody on Twitter for bullying, for being, for racism? Right, for anything like that. Have you ever tried to report them? It doesn't work anymore. It's like, don't even bother doing it because they don't do anything. You know, it is still technically against the Twitter terms of service to spread white supremacist propaganda and hatred and to bully people because of their race and stuff like that. It is still technically against their terms of service, but they don't do anything about it because Elon Musk has basically enabled them. He's made that okay. In fact, he's gone the other way and has done stupid shit like, say, making the word cisgender, something that you'll get a content warning for if you put the word cisgender, shit like that. So that's the first thing. He's mocked inclusive pronouns, like said his pronouns were prosecute Fauci, which is fucking stupid. Throwing some meat to the right-wing anti-vax crowd. Back in 2023, when the door fell off of the 747, he went on and said that DEI programs put people in danger, which is complete and total bullshit. The door falling off the plane had nothing to do with black pilots or black people flying the plane or anything like that. It had to do with Boeing cutting corners and not having proper QC checks because they're a money-grubbing corporation that don't give a fuck if you live or die. Of course, they can't actually allow that narrative to go through because, you know, Elon Musk is a businessman and all that shit, so it must be black people's fault that Boeing can't build a fucking plane anymore. He responded to a tweet about the average IQ scores of pilots who went to historically black colleges were somehow lower than that of average Air Force pilots who were, of course, white. This was a claim that was made without any proof. Of course, that tweet has been taken down, but Elon Musk's response is still there. And here it is. You can see this post has been removed by the author, but Elon Musk's post, to respond to that, it will take an airplane crashing and killing hundreds of people for them to change this crazy policy of DIE. Because, you know, Elon Musk thinks that's funny, rearranging the words in DEI and changing it to DIE, which is, of course, bullshit. And then, when people started giving him shit over this, he doubled down on it. Do you want to fly an airplane where they prioritize DEI hiring over your safety? That is actually happening. Of course, it is not actually happening. That's bullshit. And in case you were wondering, the whole race and IQ thing is just another coded way of saying the N-word. Since people look down on you for saying the N-word now, how can you get across your desire to express that you think black people are genetically inferior? You just use race and IQ, which is complete and total bullshit. Because this is the thing about Twitter, folks, is that you don't need proof to just tweet something. You don't need any evidence to tweet something at all. You can just tweet it and get it out there. And if somebody like Elon Musk responds to you and signal boosts your tweet, it gets in front of millions and millions of people, even if it's just complete bullshit that you pulled straight out of your butthole. Moving on, he has come out in support of the AfD party in Germany. So if you don't know what the AfD party is, it stands for Alternative for Deutschland, which is Alternative for Germany in English. And they are essentially Nazis. They are the far, far, far right. These are the people that are extremely anti-immigrant. They're extremely anti-Muslim. They're like Islamophobic. They're essentially the Republican Party in this country. They're like MAGA, but turn MAGA up to 11 and get rid of any pretense about equality that you may have. See, here's the thing about MAGA in this country, right? Is that it's filled, you know, the Republican Party and the MAGA wing of the Republican Party is filled with insane racist assholes and bigots and homophobes of all stripes, but they still try to bullshit themselves into thinking that we're not actually like that. There's still a ton of normies in the Republican Party and even in MAGA, people, the kind of people who would not consider themselves to be racist or bigots or homophobes. They're just religious people or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they're just trying to like get back to good old fashioned American values and all that other shit. Family values, blah, 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 blah. They're still kind of in denial. A large portion of the Republicans, a large portion of the MAGA people, they're still in denial that they're actually supporting a fascist movement. Not so with the ADF. Like, take MAGA and get rid of any pretense of equality and just embrace the racism, and that's the ADF. They're extremely far right. They're filled with actual literal Nazis, people who are in contact with far right-wing racist organizations. They're the worst of the worst, and Elon Musk seems to just be hanging out with them. This past June, he was in a podcast, I believe, or he did like a live stream or something with the co-leader of the ADF. Her name is Alice Weidel, and he characterized her, of course, as very reasonable. And here is a memorable quote: "Only the ADF can save Germany. End of story. And people really need to get behind ADF, and otherwise things are going to get very, very much worse in Germany." So this is Elon Musk. This is who he's been supporting. He's been steadily going down that rabbit hole for the last couple of years. And is it really a surprise that on the night of the Orange Messiah getting elected, maybe he got a little, I don't know, maybe he was drunk, maybe he was on ketamine or something, and he just let a little bit of the inner Adolf slip out? I would say yes. Now, here's the thing about that, folks, right? Go to your average MAGA person, they're going to tell you that this is fake. I saw like those man on the street interviews. People were walking around saying that, and they were like showing this to people right after it happened. And the average MAGA person just completely blew it off. And they either parroted the same bullshit like, oh, he has autism line or whatever, or they said, no, that doesn't look like a Nazi salute, even though it fucking is. This was like on the Young Turks, where they like, they actually go to like, MAGA rallies and shit and interview people. And the dude was showing this on his phone to all the MAGA people, trying to get their opinion on it. And one lady was like, oh, that's AI, that's fake. And he's like, it's not fake. She goes, yes, it is, it's fake. And then she like walked away in denial. This is the thing, is that they're not going to believe it. Because remember, it's a cult. So these people won't believe it. You could basically have video of Elon Musk walking around with a fucking Hitler stash, goose stepping with his Sig Heiling and shit. They're not going to fucking believe it, no matter how true it is. How do you fight back against that? Well, we got to remember is that the reason why they don't believe it is because these people, like I said, they don't actually believe that they're fascists, right? To them, fascism is bad. Fascism is wrong. To your average MAGA person, they just don't believe that they're the fascists. They think that we're the fascists. They think that the progressives and the Democrats are like fascists and communists, because to them, fascism and communism is the same fucking thing. All right, it is, because these people are morons. You got to remember that. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She routinely fucking mistakes, confuses fascism and communism. They think it's all the same thing. It's because they're idiots. So they think we're the villains when their leaders are doing this blatantly fucking fascist stuff. So how do you fight back against that? Really, the only thing you can do is to continuously hit people with the truth. You may think that going on Twitter or going on Facebook now that Facebook has got rid of all content moderation and is allowing the fucking Nazis to come back as well, you may think that, well, I don't want to be involved in that toxicity, and you should shut down your accounts there, and I don't want to support them or give them any money. And it's like, yeah, okay, don't force yourself to interact with these people. You don't have to go on Twitter and fight with Nazis if you don't want to. But you can make a difference just with your family and friends. Okay, maybe that's the most important thing. Do you have family that is stuck in the MAGA cult? Do you have friends that are stuck in the MAGA cult? Reach out to those people, okay? Talk to those people. Debate those people. Make sure that they have an avenue to the truth. Send them articles about these things. Talk to them at family gatherings, stuff like that. Have lunch with your grandfather. Have lunch with your uncle, your crazy uncle, or something like that. Here's the thing about your family and about your friends. They want you to like them. They want you to like them. They want your approval, right? Even your angry, your angry uncle who hates everybody and all that, and I don't give a fuck about anyone and blah, blah, blah. He wants your approval too. He wants you to like him. He doesn't want you to hate him. And so if you give him this message that, hey, Gramps, Grandpa, hey, Uncle, this shit you're believing is really bad. And if you don't fucking change your ways, you're going to drive everyone away. they might actually listen to you. That might be the first step in order to get these people on the road to deprogramming. And maybe that might be the only thing you can do. Some of us have the skin that's thick enough to where we don't mind debating with total fucking strangers. And that's totally cool. And if that's not your thing, I totally understand that, right? But don't abandon your family or friends to the MAGA fucking cult like this. Stand up for them, right? Be there for them. Because ultimately, your family, your friends, your estranged relatives or whatever who get sucked down these rabbit holes, they need somebody like you in order to help them get out of it. So maybe, I don't know, we can all fight back in our own way is what I'm trying to say, right? You don't have to be a hero, but you can be the hero to the people around you. Anyway, folks, last thing on this, don't let them gaslight you. You're already seeing it. You're seeing censorship in the news when it comes to this kind of thing. You're seeing the apologists for Elon and for Trump and all that stuff. Don't let them gaslight you. Understand who these people are. Stand up for the truth whenever you can. And that's how we can all fight back against fascism. Anyway, thanks a lot, folks. Adios. Hello, folks. If you like what I do and you want to support the channel, please consider buying something from my Etsy shop, supporting me on Patreon, liking and subscribing, and checking me out across my social media links listed below. Thank you all so much, and see you next time.